What is going on, YouTube world? I'm your brother Reza, and this is Krtlyfe, Krtlyfe with the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff. See this roof rack up here? It is about to get modified, something serious. So what do I have up my sleeve, you may be wondering? Well, I'm going to build a Unistrut roof rack, and I cannot take any type of credit for the design of this. The design of this specific roof rack that I'm going to build was designed by this guy named Kory Rasmussen, who's on GXOR FB Facebook group. And I looked at that design and I thought it was brilliant. I think it's going to serve all the purposes that I need. And the price point on this thing is amazing. So instead of spending $1,000 for a fabricated aftermarket roof rack, I only spent $150 something for all the parts that you see in front of me. And there will be a full parts list in the description, so you can try to do this if you want, but do so at your own risk because, well, there's no consistency on how much this thing will actually support, you know. If you look on different GX forums, their numbers as far as the roof rack goes are kind of all over the place. And this thing is going to be about 80 inches long, 40 inches wide, and it is going to look brilliant on top of my GX. And how do I know? Because I've already seen people do it on GXOR. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start on this, and hopefully I can knock it out in a couple hours. All right, well, the first things you want to do is go ahead and pop these little plastic covers off the back of your GX. And I just popped mine off right before I started the camera. You have to be really careful when you do this because these little tabs that are inside of here can break off really easy. All right, here we are on the top of the GX. Now I'm about to go ahead and pull these rails out, and it's fairly simple. I got these back parts already off, so you just unloosen them like I just did before I turned the camera on, just to make sure that this works right. And now you just go ahead and pull them out like there we go. Got to get them really, really loose. There's two screws up here that hold this piece right here into this aluminum rail. And I'm going to go ahead and remove these two screws. So I'm going to do that right now. And it's a 12mm socket to get that out. All right. That took a little wrestling to get this thing off, but I finally got it off. And you can see where these two screws right here go under here, which goes inside of there. And then you get the screw that goes up in there. And this is a T30. Pretty simple to get to if you have the right tool, but something to be mindful of if you're doing this. Just in case anyone was wondering, this piece right here is also aluminum as well. All right, so I'm going to veer off a little bit from the original design. So in the original design that I saw on Facebook, the guy Kory, he used these parts right here, and he shaved them down and stuffed them in here and used these as the mounting points for the screws to go through your Unistrut into this actual rail right here. But I'm not going to do that for two reasons. One is because I don't feel like cutting down 10 of these to fit into my actual rail. And number two, I just found that if I use this washer right here and I put my, my screw in the other way like this, it fits perfectly into my rail. And then I can go ahead and have 5 up and down here. And then I put a washer on the inside and then put my bolt on. And then there it goes. It's secured to the rail. So I think I'm going to go that route instead. Finally, it's time to do some cutting. I had to do a bunch of brainstorming, but now I am ready to go ahead and cut my Unistrut, and then I can start putting the Lego pieces together. All right, so after some trial and error and me making a few mistakes, I finally got my front piece and my back piece for my roof rack done. And these are both 39 and 5/8 inches long. And they have notches on the ends to accommodate another piece of Unistrut like this. That one's too big. I wish I had a piece that was not too big I could show you, but it was so another piece of Unistrut can fit in here when you are making your right angle like so. So imagine it's like that, and then your other piece of Unistrut can come in there, and then all of your holes will line up, and then you can screw everything together. So I made a mistake that cost me about an hour, and now you can watch my video and not make that mistake. As they say in the game, measure twice and cut once. All right, now I gotta cut my last couple of crossbars, and then I can go ahead and start screwing this thing together and throw it up on the roof. So let's go. All right, I have my main pieces to the puzzle done. These are the full length pieces that will run the entire length of the vehicle right here. These two right here are two of my cross braces. My third one, I messed up. So I wanted to, I cut it, I messed it up. So I gotta do it again. But I wanted to have 4 of these cross braces anyway in the center, so I needed to go get another piece of Unistrut. All right, this is a mock-up of what it's going to be like. You can see why I want to have 4 cross members. So since I messed up that one right there, I'm gonna go get another piece of Unistrut tomorrow so I can cut 2 more pieces. And you can see over here in the corners where I finally got this right. And I checked all the rest of my holes and they all are good for the screws to go through, the 3/8 screws to go through. All right, I'm making another change in my personal design. Instead of using all of these and pulling these springs off to get these into the shallow Unistrut that I'm using, I'm going to be using a washer, and a lock nut. So I'm gonna go get more of these washers and a lock nut as well. Just thought I'd show y'all how I tend to attach the actual rack to the top of the car. So this is a scaled down version of the rack, obviously. I have inside of here, I have a lock washer, and a nut. And the same thing on that side. And the back side, you can see that I have washers and the back side of the bolt that goes through here. And it's gonna basically slide into this channel like this. Then all you gotta do is come on this side, tighten everything up. Finally gonna measure and cut the last 2 pieces. Okay, now I have all 4 of my cross members ready to go. And now the tricky bit, going to go ahead and assemble it and test fit it up there. Should be good though. And there you have it. The rooftop rack is finished. Now, I want to make one more cross member to go about right here. So I'll have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cross members right there going through the center part. But I ran out of screws and yeah, it didn't happen. So I'm gonna get some more screws and eventually it's going to happen. But as you can see, this thing turned out amazing. Very low profile, very strong. And I'm extremely happy with it. And you too can build this. It's very easy. You really just need a bandsaw and some just real common tools like, what is it, a 9/16 socket, a couple of ratchets. And yeah, you can totally do this. And I'll put a parts list in the description so you can see all the parts that I use. And you can see all the things I did a little bit different from the way that Kory did his. But in the end, it pretty much turned out the same and it looks epic and amazing. This is Krtlyfe, Krtlyfe with the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all those things. Hope you like this roof rack. And now we're about to put some stuff on it because that's what roof racks are for. We're out. Peace. I just wanted to show y'all real quick a rigidity test. The OEM cross member for the GX470 versus a piece of Unistrut. And just because something is flexible doesn't necessarily mean it's not strong, but I still thought this was interesting to show you how much this right here can bend versus a piece of Unistrut. So as you can see, that's very, very flexible, but still very strong. I'm 140 pounds and I'm bouncing up and down on it, and it's doesn't show any signs of fatigue or break or anything like that. I've done that several times today and I sat on it. Now this is a piece of Unistrut, the thin Unistrut. And I'm just gonna put this across like that. They're relatively the same length, but you can see how rigid and stiff this Unistrut is versus the OEM GX470 piece. So yeah.